honestly, I guess they won because I came in. So, just goes to show you. Grab this. Again, I want to point out, because occasionally people take this the wrong way. I don't hate millennials. I am a millennial. I'm allowed to roast us. You know, when a 60-year-old person who, you know, doesn't realize how much they've benefited from the fact that, you know, they lived in one of the world's most functional economies during the years when every other country on Earth was devastated by the effects of endless war, and they go, oh, millennials can't even work at a gas station and buy a house anymore, those lazy bums. You know, then you can be like, hey, Grandpa, shut up. You're being ignorant. I'm not telling you to shut up because I disrespect you, Grandpa. You fired the first shot. You ever see Rambo? It's about your generation. You should watch it sometime. I might give you some insight. Actually, we're better off with this. But as a millennial, and as a millennial who embodies some of the traits, thank you, that baby boomers think that millennials have, I can make the joke. It's also very nice because I'm a millennial who basically, through incredible luck, has done all right for myself. So I love, occasionally, like, I'll be having conversations with my parents or my parents' friends, and then I'll roast millennials, and they'll go like, yeah, you get it, and I'm like, yeah, but at the same time, like, it's really your fault. I mean, it's really everybody, so I'm not trying to turn this into a political generation warfare thing, but as many people have pointed out, we as millennials, the number one thing that older people like to insult us about is the fact that we're the generation that got participation trophies. And, of course, it's the stupidest argument you could conceivably ever make, because I don't recall... First off, I didn't even want to play baseball. I was forced to play baseball, but I digress. It was probably for the best to have done it. You know, I learned a little bit about what it means to be on a team. I got some exercise, made some friends, etc., etc. I'm not mad about that. But I don't remember being 9 years old, going down to the trophy store, and being like, hey, I need 30 trophies that say 3rd division runner-up, aka 6th place in a 6-team league. If I remember correctly, I was like, another summer playing baseball? Nah. I don't believe that they're selling the bulk of those trophies to 9-year-olds. I believe they're selling the bulk of the, or, you know, back in the day, they're selling the bulk of those trophies to, you know, 29 to 40-year-olds who had 9-year-old kids and then didn't want their kids to be sad. Honey, you're not on the worst team in the league. You came second in the 3rd division. Look at that, you got 2nd place despite the fact that you lost every game of the season. By the way, this was my team. Basically every year, we found ourselves in the C division runner-up category, which is just a very polite way to say last. So I know it more than most. I was like, can you do that? You can just... You can be the source of the thing that you then make fun of? Am I starting to realize what it means to be an adult? Because it's freaking sweet. For now, at least. I'm enjoying it. I also, I don't know if my parents are, like, anti-millennial. They're pretty young. They're in their, like, early 50s. Which, to have a 30-year-old child makes them on the younger side, for sure. I told you, don't call me a child. 30-year-old man who makes his own decisions and pays his own income tax, okay? Small rock, please. But if they are, I think I gotta remind my mom that, you know, any sentimentality that I have, any overt sensitivity, anytime I'm a baby and I'm like, I don't want to kill an insect because that insect might have a family, that comes from her. You know, I grew up in the generation of, like, you can be whatever you want to be. If you want to raise your kids like Spartans, I mean, by all means, I don't really support it. If you want to, you know, go straight back to, like, the origin story of 300 or something like that. The first 15 minutes of that movie where they're throwing babies off cliffs because they can't bench press 200 pounds like little Tarzan on TLC. Go ahead, but what you can't do is raise them like we're Bubble Boy, and then 20 years later be like, why are you so sensitive? What is happening here? Do we have broken stopwatch? Ah! Let's go. So that's, you know, recognize, millennials. If a generational war ever happens, I'm on your side, okay? So don't come knocking around my door. I'll fight alongside the millennials. That doesn't mean we can't make fun of ourselves as well, though, okay? Because what are we if not the funniest generation? Hopefully. We grew up with, like, Golden Age Simpsons. And I digress.